Marshmallow Fanboy back with another one. This time it is going to be Wrestlemania Hollywood Elite Collection. I'm going to do the set, but I'm going to do them two at a time. And the reason I'm doing them two at a time is they came out with the people who faced each other in matches in different WrestleMania events. So starting with the Macho King Randy Savage and Dusty Rhodes, they had an intergender match at WrestleMania 6 with Macho King and Sensational Sherry and Dusty Rhodes and Sweet Sapphire. This one just says Sapphire. I think this one says Sweet Sapphire. There we go. Sweet Sapphire mixed tag team match at WrestleMania 6. And of course, on the back, you can see The Rock and Hulk Hogan from WrestleMania 18. WrestleMania is going to be in Hollywood this year in 2023. But the last time it was in Los Angeles was 2005 for WrestleMania 21, which is 3 years sort of after WrestleMania 18 takes place there. So both the Macho King Randy Savage Dusty Rhodes match and the Rock and Hollywood Hulk Hogan's matches were both at the Sky Dome in Ontario, Canada, which is weird. Because, you know, if they were doing a WrestleMania Hollywood set, I don't know why they wouldn't do a couple of the matches from that WrestleMania 21. But I can't complain, man. I need a Dusty Rhodes figure, and Macho King Randy Savage is a version of the character I don't have. So I'm not unhappy to have these two. But again, I'm going to focus on just the two of them. Both of them have Build-A-Figure Mean Gene Okerlund pieces. In this case, Dusty has the torso, and the Macho King has, looks like the head. Looks like just the head is circled. And there's a Mean Gene's head. Looking pretty disappointed that he's the only piece in a Macho Man set. Of course, for whatever reason, they usually pack the torso in with the lighter figure, which in this case it was either Macho King or maybe The Rock has less accessories. And so the head probably should have gone in with Dusty, but I'm not going to tell them how to pack things. That'd be weird. But I got this at my comic store, and the comic store apparently got a couple of waves of this because there was more than 8 figures. There was at least 2 cases. When I went to buy the set, I discovered that even though Macho King was on a separate, what do you call those things? The peg, a separate peg, and each figure was on its own peg, and then below the pegs, there were what I considered runoff figures, extra rocks, essentially, because the Rock looks like he was the one who was packed 4 to a case or something. But there was only one Macho King Randy Savage figure in the entire selection. There were 3 Dustys, I think 4 Hulk Hogan's, and the rest were all Rocks. There were at least 8 Rock figures. So I'm guessing Macho King is rare, which I didn't know when I was grabbing the set. I grabbed him, and then I noticed everything behind him was a Dusty Rhodes figure. So my history with this is that I don't know if I was still watching wrestling when he was. I had to have been, because I was there, at least on television, when he reunited with Miss Elizabeth, and that was after Sensational Sherry. That was after he was the Macho King. So I did. I just don't know if I ever saw WrestleMania 6. When I was a kid, WrestleMania happens in April, right around my birthday, so I don't know if maybe I went somewhere and wasn't around the TV. And back then, if you missed something on pay-per-view, you didn't just... I guess you could have got... It wasn't on demand, though. You couldn't get it on demand. You had to schedule that stuff. It was appointment television. It wasn't just stuff you could just call up at will. But even in the 80s, you'd get a VHS tape a couple months later. So I might have. But between WrestleMania and the television, you're living out a lot of storyline. So by the time you watch that WrestleMania, you're basically watching stuff in a time capsule. Probably doesn't make a whole lot of sense or matter to what's going on right now. But let's oh, good side images there. I didn't cover side images. There we go. You can put this on a bookshelf. That looks really good. Of course, there's Dusty and Macho King Randy Savage. Has that authentic hologram. And of course, because of the plastic packaging, I didn't have to worry about if anything was swapped out. So let's break these things out. Let's take a closer look at them. Okay, now that he's out of the packaging, let's take a closer look at Dusty Rhodes. First, he's got 3 pairs of hands. He's got 2 pointer hands, 2 partially opened hands, and he has 2 closed fists. Just hold one up, but the other one looks like that, except the thumb is on the other side. Because that's how hands work. So, lots of extra hands. Great head, great yelling expression. He has some Velcro on the back. You could lose the shirt if you want to. I am going to keep it on for this review. Well, maybe I'll take it off. If I can't figure out, he's got a joint below the rib cage and he twisted the waist. Okay, let's do this. Yeah, let's keep the shirt on. Let's keep that tight. There we go. And the head moves. Let's see, no, not up. Let me adjust here. Let's see, down a little. The most up and down motion he's going to get is from tilting him back at the point that he moves right below the rib cage. Same with looking down. Pretty good range of motion looking down if you're using that joint. Let's see. The arms come out, and he doesn't have butterfly joints, but he reaches really far back. That's what the wingspan looks like. Really good. Let's see. Ball joint at the shoulder, bicep swivel. Let's see. Bicep swivel. Get a good shot of that. Double elbows. Let's see if I can make the stretch back. So I can make the other one go. He's got the padding here. The padding moves a little. There's a little give to it. So I can try to slide it. No, it's not going to slide all the way though. So I think the double elbow would be a little more pliable in some hot water, but the joint, it looks like it ends. The track ends right there. So maybe that is as far as it goes. I don't think so though. I think it goes farther. Let's see. I can sort of work the joint a little bit back and forth. And I can't. I'm pretty sure it goes back farther than what I've shown. Oops, straighten out his shirt again. Let's see, keep that nice. And let's see. Hinge on the wrist, all of them. All the hands have hinges. See, twist at the waist. That's nice. Ball joint at the legs and thigh swivel. And double knees, which have the knee pads slide out a little bit. So you get a little bit more range of motion, but eventually it stops because it won't stretch that far. But you got a joint at the boot. So you have a lot of twist here. The hinges and the footwork, great. Really great. He's got, let's see, a little bit of side rocker. A little bit, not a lot. That could be my imagination. Is that my imagination? Oh no, he's got side rockers. Okay, good. When you stretch him out a little bit to the side, you can see him flats of his feet right there. Well, not this one maybe, but This one is flat, and boom, now that one is too. That one still looks a little crooked. Anywho, it's a lot of range of motion. I don't have a Dusty figure. I can't remember the last time they made a Dusty figure. So it's a very cool addition to the collection. I'm happy to have it. I'm happy to have the pieces that make Mean Gene Okerlund, which I'll review in another video. But for now, yeah, man, if you're a big Dusty Rhodes fan, especially if you're already going to get the Macho King, you might as well get Dusty, and vice versa. If you were going to get Dusty, you might as well get the Macho King Randy Savage, because then you'll have the two characters who fought each other at WrestleMania. The only thing that would make the set a little bit better is if they had the two women figures who fought in they call it mixed tag back then. Okay. Mixed tag. Now they call it intergender match, I think. So in any case, it's an excellent addition to the collection. And if you can find him, it'll be an excellent addition to your collection. Until next time, enjoy your toys. Okay, he's all out of the package. So let's take a closer look at Macho King Randy Savage. First, he's got only 2 pairs of hands, which is unusual for the line. He's got a partially open hand, 2 partially open hands, sorry, and 2 pointer hands. And of course, one is in there. He's got a scepter, which I think, oh yeah, it's banded to his hand. And now it's sticky. That's weird. Ugh. Okay, there's a little sticky thing around the scepter. That'll go in the trash, but the scepter is cool. Let's see if it stays in there without the sticky stuff, and it does. So great. The scepter is cool. It's a nice, simple piece, but it matches with what the Macho Man was like back then, like the purples and things. The crown is this unbroken piece. I thought there'd be like a space in the back to kind of curl it around his head, but it turns out that this is pretty flexible. And like you can put it on his head and it doesn't really, let me tilt that. It doesn't really fit. But if you, oh, and I dropped it. Hold on a second. Okay, I've recovered the crown. So let me try that again. So if you press down on the crown, it flexes to his head and goes on. You can see it stays on his head and looks good on his head. The sunglasses come off too, real easy, and it tucks right back into the hair to go right back on. But let me lose the sunglasses for right now. Let me lose the crown, and we'll just look at Macho King Randy Savage. Let's see, a little bit of up. It's more neutral. But with the ab crunch, of course, he looks up, or he looks down rather, and he looks up really well. So with the ab crunch helps with the looking up and looking down. Let's check his wingspan out here. Okay, it's like that, which is awesome. He's skydiving. Macho King skydiving. There we go. So hitting the wind currents. Sorry. Let's see. Ball joint for the arms. Let's see. Bicep swivel. He's got double elbows. Double elbows that the one doesn't go. Probably have to warm it up with warm water or something. It's weird that these all have double elbows that don't really go all the way. It's so weird. But it's a little bit of additional, oh, he's touching himself. That's weird. Okay. So bicep swivel, let's see. Double elbows, kind of. Hinge on the wrist, which is great. Ab crunch, so he can do sit-ups if he wants to. Twist at the waist. See ball joints on the legs, and a thigh swivel on each leg, and double knees. He doesn't have knee pads, but at the boot hits the back of the leg, it stops where the boot hits. And the boot, of course, the top of the boot, there's a swivel. So that is really nice. And then there's a hinge on the foot. See if we can budge the hinge. Let's see, the feet are a little bit out. Maybe they don't. They have to. I see the track for the hinge. There we go. It's a little bit. And a toe out, toe in, and let's see. Oh yeah, ankle rockers. Very nice. And that is Macho King Randy Savage. The Randy Savage, one of my favorite wrestlers from that era. Really liked him. The Macho King was a really cool storyline. Of course, reuniting with Miss Elizabeth, that was cool too. Another wrestler gone before his time. But a great figure. He always wore such amazing stuff to the ring. And that's what you're getting here. Just an amazing outfit from WrestleMania 6. So until next time, enjoy your toys.